Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us for another exciting Wednesday edition of the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif, and as always, I'm bringing to you another exciting individual that you should know. We have so much talent all throughout our communities, and when we see some talent, we want to bring it to you because these are people that are building the future of the business industries that they are entering and expressing themselves. And we had the opportunity to meet such a talent that perhaps is going to take the fashion industry by storm. And if you enjoy some creative urban wear, you're going to enjoy our guest, who also is a creative genius when it comes to barbering and hair designs. So without further ado, I want to bring to you our guest today. Definitely someone you should know who is using his talent to build his businesses, an exciting entrepreneur, and one who has certainly made a mark in Chicago and will be soon known throughout the world, our dear brother, Travail Fowler. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. How are you today?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And it's good to see your shining, smiling face. Well, you know,
Thank you.
and you know, the wonderful thing about it is that you are a fresh young face, an exciting new entrepreneur that's going to motivate so many others who have talent but haven't yet manifested into a dream. Now, of course, you started out as a barber, one who creates hair designs. How did you get into the barbering business? And you know, did you have to go through training? Were you taught? How did you become a barber?
So, how I became a barber was I started at the age of 11, and I got a pair of clippers from Family Dollar, and I started to cut my own hair, and I used to mess it up all the time. And I just got in trouble for it, messing up my head, but I kept on doing it. And over the years, as the, I would say the content of cutting hair, it changed. I changed with it. You know, I just elevated in my craft because I stuck with it. I continue to advance as a barber because I really love to do that. You know, I started with cutting bald heads, and then I moved to linings, and then I moved to haircuts, and then I just started trying whatever I could think of, you know, when it came to haircuts. And as the years went by, I just got better.
Wow. Now that is really fascinating. Just took some clippers and started doing it, which means you just had an inborn talent. And you know, that's an exciting thing because a lot of people, they discover a talent by just following their inner urge to do something. And hair design, it does take an eye. And so you've done some really exciting creative designs. How do you come up with it with the designs that you do? Is it something that you draw out on a piece of paper? Does it just come in your imagination? How do you create what you create in people's heads?
I mean, first, when I look at all my clients as individuals. So before they sit down, I'm looking at their head, analyzing the shape of their head. their skin tone and things like that. And I just go in completely freestyle and put the best, I draw the picture in my head on their head. And that's how I come out with the art that I make.
Well, that is fascinating. So now we'll take a look at your start to finish. This was a young man. You saw how he started out. And so that's the before. And, you know, this is a process that really takes a lot of patience. He's got locks. So you do the whole thing, the shampoo and all of that. Now look at this. This
Everything.
is a transformation. How did you create that look? Did you see it in your mind? Did it come along as you were doing it? Oh, that is beautiful.
It kind of started, so with 2-strand locks, it kind of goes with the retwist. So I just asked him, like, would you like a style today? And he told me yeah, and he said he wanted something that hang. So I just went in, I gave him 2-strand ropes, and after that, I put a nice lining on him, and he was very satisfied. You know, he was very satisfied and happy with his look after I finished.
Wow. Well, it is amazing. I mean, you are definitely a talented person. Now, for a design like that, when somebody comes and just, you know, hair all over their head, locks like that, and you create something like that, how long does that whole process take, usually from start to finish?
Well, typically in a normal work day, it'll be like maybe 2 hours. But for some reason, I'm really fast with everything I do. So I can do that style in an hour tops. You know, it doesn't take me long to do things because I have a sense of urgency, you know, and I got to get the client in, get them out, get to the next client. I don't know if the client I'm doing has something to do. So when I move my hands, I move them fast.
Wow. You do move fast. Yeah, that is definitely a skill. Well, of course, if you all are watching and you've got some questions, some ideas, some things you think you might want to try with your hair, you can give us a call, 727-731-5192. Or if you're watching us on our Facebook or YouTube channel, then feel free to write in your comments. You can watch us on Facebook or YouTube, The Female Solution, and we'll gladly take your comments and questions for our guest. And we've got a comment here from our dear friend, and as always, we appreciate hearing from Chief Dr. Quentin Tamba Taylor de Alexander, who says, Grand Rising, a phenomenal talent on the rise. One love, Chief Tamba Taylor, aka Ariate of Akola Ijesa Kingdom. Yes, definitely a talent on the rise. And of course, I met you through the Chief, who is another creative genius. And so you'll have an opportunity to work with him more. And we're excited because anytime we can discover and promote someone who has so much promise, we know it's a world-changing opportunity. And we've got another comment here. And Austin Esther says, what inspired you to start cutting hair? Yes, that's a great question. What did inspire you? Did you see someone do it? Did you have someone, your family or friends that you saw in that process?
Oh.
Wow.
No, actually, what inspired me to start cutting hair was, I would say, I believe it was my auntie. She used to send me to the barbershop to get my hair cut, and she always made me get a bald fade. I hated that style. I hated the haircut. So I felt like if I learned how to cut hair, I wouldn't have to get a bald fade anymore. So I started cutting. That's why I started cutting my own hair first. And then I started practicing on my brother. and I started to get better. So I would say a bald fade inspired me to cut hair.
I love that story. So you didn't like how she was making you get your hair cut, so you
Yes.
said, I'll just do it myself.
No,
So
I hated it. I hated
I
it.
remember
People used to
bald
smack the back of my head, and I hated it.
Yes,
I
I
hated
do remember that. Yeah. But you know, it's interesting how certain things will inspire us to make some changes. So now Lewis Bennett says, what inspired you to make the brand FAEVA Rich, and how do you plan to expand your brand? Well, now that is another enterprise that you have, because you have actually expanded your creative energy from designing hair to designing clothes, just a burst of creative energy. So what was your inspiration for starting a clothing line?
My inspiration behind my brand is called Forever Rich. It's Richard Fowler. He was my uncle, and he was more like a father figure to me. He was like one of my best friends, and he passed away recently. So I was just sitting up in my head thinking, how would I make his name live on? You know, so I came up with the brand Forever Rich because it could mean so many things, but on the back end, it means my uncle. So that's how Forever Rich started. And I plan to expand by having the whole world possibly wearing my brand one day. You know, I'm gonna continue to work hard and advertise and promote and put my clothes on people's back so it can be seen. You know, so hopefully that helps me expand worldwide, internationally one day.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know, sometimes one day is 2 day. It doesn't take but a moment, and now
Yes,
that
ma'am.
you're being seen all over the world, and I'm sure that people will enjoy a whole new urban look that is upcoming and just defining a new creative genius. So we're going to take a quick break and greet our global family watching us all around the world. And then we'll come back and show a few more of your fashions under the Forever Rich label and talk about how you create some of those designs that are one of a kind originals that people can buy. And we'll also hear more about your progress in terms of expansion. And for those who have creative ideas, I'm sure they'll be inspired by seeing that all it takes is just a decision to just step out and do it. So we will
Yeah,
be,
let's do it.
yes, let's just do it. And I think that's one of the exciting things about having things right at your fingertips, the internet and everything else, where you can see an idea and just go for it. So you being able to put it out there, now you've got people who are ready to buy. And that's what we want to do, is we want to let them know who you are and how they can get your original designs. That is what is exciting. So we will be right back after we greet our global family listening from all around the world.
Yes, ma'am.
We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network. Call 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
Yes, we do want to talk to you, and we want you to talk to us too. And we've got some callers on the line that we're going to bring into this conversation. You are listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif, and our guest today is Travail Fowler, who is a fascinating young entrepreneur who is a talented barber and hairstylist and now clothing designer. And we are excited to introduce you to our global family who can most certainly see themselves wearing your designs. And we've got some more comments here. Our Monday morning mindfulness host Zelda says, Grand Rising, great minds. Thanks for listening to your elder uncle who is watching and guiding your brand. Congratulations. Oh, fabulous, fabulous. Yes, that is one of the things,
Thank you
when
so much.
you heard is great. Yes. Yes, we appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's always good to encourage those among us who we see the talent, we see the ability. So it's good that your uncle was an inspiration to you, and you've got some interesting images for your Forever Rich design. Now tell us about this shirt. What does it symbolize? You see, we got the money, Forever Rich, 7414. What the numbers mean on this golden boy shirt for Forever Rich?
The jacket, this is the jacket I wore to my uncle's funeral. And his name is, they called him Golden Boy back in his day. So this jacket is completely symbolizing his coming up and the person that he was. He was always a person that wanted to stay afloat. He was always a very clean person. And, he was always just golden, so people called him Golden Boy around his neighborhood when he was growing up. So I just wanted to make that pop out. I wanted people to know that jacket was for him.
Wow. Well, that's powerful. That's a very powerful image. Now, when you make designs like that, is that something that you look at mass producing, or are they kind of one of a kind originals?
So when I first came up with the brand, I really wasn't thinking about mass production. I was thinking about more high-end things, like one-of-ones, something that when I make it, you will be the only person that have it, and I felt like maybe I could charge more for that. It would mean more to people because it's so many brands that you could just go in the store and it's thousands of shirts the same, and you go outside and see someone with something you have on that you pay money for. I didn't want my brand to be like that. I wanted it to be something that it's only for you, especially made for you.
Wow. Well, Zelda from Higher Learning Network TV show says, what a unique idea. Continued success, young man. Looking forward to seeing more of your designs. Where to purchase? Well, that's the $1 million question that everybody wants to know, because they definitely looking to see your talent. So how do people purchase from you when they see something they like, or have a request for something that they'd like you to create? Do they call you? Go to Instagram?
So first I would like to say thank you to the Higher Learning Network TV show for liking my ideas and my designs. And people can purchase from me through Instagram, Facebook, calling my phone, texting me. And right now I'm in the process of building a website so they can just go on and order, and then I can send their stuff out. So right now it's more of a hand-to-hand process, but in the future it will be online. It'll be everywhere I can get it.
All right. Well, of course, we've got another design here. Now, this is interesting. And we know that it is containing some deep symbols on your FAEVA Rich brand. Can you tell us what this image symbolizes and how you came about creating that?
So I ran across this image and I just thought of my uncle because I was just thinking about him being gone and still how to symbolize him. So he, like I said, he was always a clean cut person, always had on nice stuff. So when I saw this image, I thought of my uncle and I was like, maybe I could use this to symbolize him since he's not here anymore. Using a skeleton that got on really nice clothes, it symbolized him to me.
I see. Well,
that's more of a reason why. That's why image.
I can see that your uncle had a lot of influence in your life, which
yes,
that's important for anybody who has, someone younger in their family that they can influence. Think about the things you say to that person and think about how you encourage them, because you never know that you can inspire them to launch a great idea like your uncle did for you, and giving you that encouragement. So even when we transition to the other side, people still remember what we said and how we were encouraged.
Like he was a very big inspiration. He always encouraged me, even when I was discouraged about things. He always used to be like, nephew, you can do it. Don't never let nobody tell you can't, So I always listened to my uncle. Like I said, he was labeled my uncle, but he was more like a father figure to me. And he was more like a best friend. He was just older. So everything he said to me, I always listened because I felt like older people have wisdom, and they done been where I'm trying to get. So everything he said to me, I was on top of listening to him. And he really wouldn't let me not listen. He was a very stern man.
Wow. Well, that's the mark of wisdom, when someone can say something that touches your heart and really steers your direction. So when you create the designs that you create, they pretty much just come out of your imagination. And
it's the same when I do haircuts and do locks. I look at my canvas and I'll be like, what do I want to put on here? And I just start going, so that's how I come up with it. I just go, and I always just make sure everything is symmetrical and it lays out. And when I see the image, I get the colors from the image, what I'm gonna use, and stuff like that. So it's really just out of my head.
So tell us about this image here. How did you create this jacket?
That image is actually from New Year's. I wore that on New Year's, and I actually didn't create that jacket. That was just the image of me.
Ah, well, definitely a fashionable image. So the good thing about it, you have the body of a model so that you could actually model your creations and be the face and the body of your own brand. And that helps a lot. Now, when you design things for people,
Yes.
especially
Yeah.
because you do like one of a kind kinds of things, do the people give you an idea of kind of what they like or an image they'd like you to create? Do they make suggestions?
So before I make something for somebody, I ask them their size. I ask them what color scheme would they like, and they just trust me to go in and make something nice because everything I produce it come out pretty good. So long as I ask them the color and what they have an idea of, I just go off that. That's
Yes.
normally
Well,
what I do.
well, Jay the G says, very unique brand. Keep up the good work. You got this. Yes. Yeah. Well, you got a great fan base out there. People who are enjoying your work. And I believe we've got a caller on the line. And let's see, make sure that they are unmuted. 708 caller.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes. What's your name, where you're calling from, and your question or comment for our guest, Travail?
Yes. My name is Elisa. I'm calling from Texas.
All right.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Elisa from Texas.
Thank you. I had a comment and a question. So first, Travail is my brother.
Ah.
So I just wanted to say congratulations, Travail. I'm super, super proud of you. I feel like I always tell Travail how multi-talented he is. He just has so many different talents. I sometimes call him like the jack of all trades because there's nothing he can do. So I really do get my inspiration from him. I just love how he put his mind to something. He just go out and he do it. My question for you, Travail, would be if you had to give some advice to your, let's just say, 13-year-old self, what would that advice be?
You said if I had to give my advice to a 13-year-old?
Yeah, if you had to look back and if you had to look at your 13-year-old self, what advice would you give your 13-year-old self?
Oh, so if I had to speak to my 13-year-old self, I would tell myself to continue to be how I was, because this is not something that just happened over the last few years. This has been me my whole life. I started being creative at a very early age. I started drawing at 8, 9, 10, 11. I started cutting hair. So the creativity just rose from there. So if I had to tell him, I would tell them to keep going and follow his dreams, regardless of what's in front of you. Always follow your dreams and don't let nobody knock you off your square.
All right. Good advice. Yes. Well, thank you so much. And Lisa, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't, I have your name on the screen. I hope I didn't misspell it. But
That's okay. I can't see it, but I'm calling from my phone.
Okay.
Like to call in and something.
Well, thank you so much, Elisa from Texas. We appreciate you so much for those words of encouragement, and keep on listening in. And of course, if you want to go to Facebook on your phone, you can go to The Female Solution, and you'll be able to see you're live. If you want to see your brother's handsome face, there it is, right there on the screen.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for calling. And we certainly are pleased that we get an opportunity to hear from those all across the nation and indeed around the world, because business is global nowadays. And with the touch of a few buttons, you can have a product that is being shipped out worldwide. So it doesn't take a second to suddenly launch a brand across the world. So we're going to take another quick break and come right back and talk more to this wonderful barber, hairstylist, and clothing design artist, Travail Fowler of FAEVA Rich Clothing Brand. I love that name, Forever.
Yes.
Ever Rich, yes. So, yes, and you know, the great thing about it is that you have captured a name that has a significant meaning. So you've spoken it into existence. You're going to be forever rich. So we will be right back after. Yes, definitely. Gonna make it happen. So we'll be right back after this quick break. So we want you all to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Yes. All right. And we are back, and we got another message that we want to bring to you all. And as always, we appreciate those who are watching us from all across the world, because this is an opportunity for us to connect with our global family. And this is what we do every day on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. We connect you to the world so that you can appreciate what is happening all across the world, and you can participate, because this is one of the ways that we get a chance to know each other and celebrate each other as people who are making a difference every day. So we want you to be part of the process of making a difference in the world.
Aha! The Alexander Experience in association with We Dream.
Uh-oh. Let me do this one more time. There we go. All righty. And
The Alexander Experience in association with We Dream in Color Foundation presents the 2025 We Dream in Color Humanitarian and Unity Celebration at the historical Du Sable Museum of Black History, honoring phenomenal people doing extraordinary things and empowering others to dream big. Save the date, Saturday, July 19, 2025, for an evening of celebrating life in this year of elevation, where unity and diversity meet. History will be made. by the clear vision of the people's chief himself, Chief Tamba Taylor, aka the Are Etesheye of Akola Ijesha Kingdom. VIP red carpet and interviews start immediately by 6:30 p.m. American time. Show presentation starts by 8 p.m. while ticket sale go publicly in mid-May. Contact We Dream in Color Foundation for tickets and reservation. Go to wedreamcolor.org or your favorite honoree. One love.
Yes, we will be there. It's coming up this year.
Yes, we will.
And of course, one of the exciting things is that this is going to be an international celebration, just based on the fact that there are honorees coming in from across the world. Now, in this upcoming celebration, understand your mother is going to be an honoree at the DuSable Museum. There on July 19th. Yes. So your mother is apparently a phenomenal woman, and receiving an award for her work as a very influential religious leader. And I'm sure that she's been an inspiration to you, and we look forward to meeting her as well as one of the significant honorees to be recognized and presented to the world community at this very prestigious global event. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. She's a very phenomenal lady. She's one of my biggest inspirations in life. She always encouraged me and pushed me to go as far as I want to go in life. Like, she just told me this morning to make sure that I was here to do what I needed to do. So my mother always encouraged me. She had my back right or wrong. She's a great mother. Nothing bad I can say about her.
Oh, that is fabulous. And that speaks volumes when a son says that about his mother. So we can tell that she is the kind of mother who deserves all the accolades that she's going to receive at this July 19th event at DuSable.
Did war for the morning.
Yes, yes. So the We Dream in Color Humanitarian and Unity Celebration. We're going to be bringing you more honorees as this event approaches, because so many all around the world are making a difference, and the work that they've done have earned them the title of doctorate that many of them are going to be receiving, because people have shown through their work they deserve that title and that respect, and all the other awards that are going to be presented. So we're excited and looking forward to that event as well. And we've got another caller on the line that we'll bring on.
Okay.
Area code 239. You are live on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. Area code 464. Go right ahead. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and your question or comment for our guest. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes. Grand Rising. Good morning. Give us your name and where you're calling from and your question or comment.
This is good morning. This is Austin Aston. I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Thank you for calling.
And Travail is actually my brother. I was just calling to ask him a question or two.
Okay. Well, spell your name for me so I can put it on the screen. I want to make sure it's spelled correctly.
Austin. Austin. My last name is Esther, Ester.
Okay. All right. Voice of Austin. And you are from Chicago. All righty. And go right ahead with your question.
I just wanted to refer to his clothing brand that he was saying about the Forever Rich brand. I wanted to know, is he gonna make like clothing for like toddler boys? Because you know nowadays when you go in a kid's store, it's less variety for boys but more for girls. I just wanted to know if he was like focused on like toddler boy clothes or toddler girls too, but more so toddler boys. Because you know I got 2 boys of my own, so I just wanted to know if he was gonna make that type of clothing for kids too.
Ah, good question. So, clothing for children, toddler. He wants to know, will you be designing clothes that could be worn by children, you know, toddlers, the small sizes for girls and boys, because, you know.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I will be making clothes for kids, for dogs. I'm gonna make clothes for everybody. I have kids of my own, you know, so my kids definitely will be in my brand, and all my god kids, my brother kids all over the world. You know, my brand is not specifically for one person or one kind. It's for everybody, you know. So yes, I will be making kids clothes, and I will have some coming soon.
Oh, fantastic. Yes. And what was the other question, Austin? So, Austin, did you have another question?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go right ahead.
Now it's fine with the locks and the haircut situation. I just wanted to know, would he like to open like a shop or his own space so people can come to him actually, you know, like a venue or a space or something? It's like a thought in the future, I know maybe not right now, but like in the future.
So where people go, so right now people come to you to get their hair done. Is that what happens now? So he wants to know about your expanding to a commercial space for your hair designs.
Yes. In the future, all that is in the making. You know, right now I go to them, they come to me, but in the future, I will probably go back to the shop environment, or even have my own space where I can do everything. I really want a warehouse where I can do all my work in one place, you know. So I'm looking to have maybe a one-stop shop place.
Well, now that is a vision. And the thing is important to voice your vision, because somebody watching this show will say, oh, well, I got some space, and they'll be calling you up to, you know, say, well, you want to work out a deal, maybe some kind of partnership. I mean, it creates all kinds of opportunities when you vocalize what your vision is, because people who see themselves as being perhaps in harmony with your vision will then call you up, and we'll certainly make sure we share your contact information so that people can reach out to you who see you as maybe being a part of their future as well. So we appreciate that so much. So Austin, was that it? Did you have any other questions, or was that?
Could you repeat that? I couldn't hear.
Oh, did you have any other questions, Austin, before we take the next comment?
I got questions for days, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm good. I'm at work now.
Okay, well, thanks so much for calling in, Austin. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely appreciate you.
All right, no problem.
Calling in from work. Yes, and we've got some more comments here from our viewers. And so Lewis Bennett says, so how soon will you be dropping more clothing for your brand? All right. Yes. So how soon?
Today.
Okay.
I just made some last night.
All right. So you're
every
constantly
day. I try to make something every day. You know, when I'm not attending to my kids and my family, I'm making clothes. I'm cutting hair. I'm doing this. I'm making shoes. You know, I'm always gonna be making clothes. You know, and if you want something custom, you can call me up and ask me, and it'll be back. You'll have it in the next day or so.
And then of course, Jada G says good creativity. Yes, it is. Now,
Thank you.
and as I said, when you speak your vision into existence, you attract people of like mind, where you never know who may be watching that will see themselves as part of your future as well. So now we've got a comment from Viata Robinson, and she says, what type of fabric are you using for your clothing? Now she is in the linen garments business, so this could be somebody that you hook up with in terms of designing some of her linens. So you never know, and here you go. The future is now. So what type of fabric do you use for your designs?
It depends on what type of design I'm doing. You know, if I'm making a shirt, I try to get the best type of material that I can use as a canvas, and I use for the most part I like flock vinyl. It's called flock vinyl. It's more like a suede, more expensive vinyl. You know, and when it comes to like making clothes, pants and stuff like that, I go get the best canvas when it comes to how the pants stretch, how they feel, and then I cut them up and re-sew them with my hands to make what I'm trying to make.
Yes. So this actually opens the door for a wide variety of kinds of fabrics that could be used. And Viata, of course, she's our sister down there in Florida, so you already about to expand nationwide. There you go. So that's all it takes. Now
that material there is suede.
This is suede. Okay. So is it a sewing process?
The canvas is suede.
Okay. So
that itself wasn't a process.
That was, I'm sorry, what was that again?
I say that itself wasn't, I didn't have to sew at all in that process. I just went to the store and I bought a very kind of expensive suede jacket, so it'll look good once I got done. And then I just used it as my canvas.
That is quite creative. Yes, definitely originals, one of the kind. And I could see that people may see a certain kind of pattern or design and say, well, can you make me 20 of that? So, we're going to take one last break. And when we come back, we'll talk about your vision for expansion and make sure that people can contact you to place some orders, because you might have some folks that want to place some orders for some things. And we're going to tell you how. And of course, if you are listening online and want to join this conversation, you can give us a call, 727-731-5192, because we do want to talk to you. So we'll be right back after this last break. So we want you all to stick and stay. Don't stray away. You're talking to Travail Fowler, who is the CEO and founder of FAEVA Rich. And we'll be right back after this. So stay with us.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms. And we are back. You are listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif, and our guest today is Travail Fowler, who is a powerful young entrepreneur with a creative vision, and he's a barber. And give us the name of your barber business again.
Vailgotglass.
Vailgotglass. So tell us the meaning of that name, Vailgotglass Barber Service.
Well, the name Vailgotglass came from one of my clients. I had a long-term client that I cut all the time, and every time he get up and see his line, and he'll be like, "Bro, it's so sharp, it's razor sharp." He was like, "It's as sharp as a piece of broken glass." And he was like, "You know what? You should change your name to Vailgotglass because you glass everything you touch." So I took it into consideration, and it did stick, you know. And now I'm known across Chicago as Vailgotglass. You know, when people think about me cutting hair, they'll be like, "Call the glass man," or "Vailgotglass can cut you up," you know, some stuff like that. So that's where it came from.
Oh, well, that's catchy. So now we've got some more comments here. Now, of course, as you expand in your design business, there's so many other opportunities. And we've got a question from Dr. Quentin DeAlexander that says, "Is he designing footwear?" And that's another whole market that people look for.
Yes. Yes,
so,
I do custom shoes.
So you do custom shoes as well. So now how does that work? People have to bring the shoes to you and then you create the designs. How does that work?
I mean, it depends on what works best for the both of us. Typically, I use Air Force Ones because it's a white, good canvas to use. So if I'm gonna make someone some shoes, I will ask them to bring the shoe. But if it's not convenient for them at the time, I would just have them to send me the money. I would go buy the shoe out of the price I'm charging them for it, and then I'll just make the shoe and get it back to them.
Ah, well, now that is interesting because, you know, now what kind of material does the shoe need to be made out of? Is it like the cloth, rubber, leather? What does it need to be made out of? Or variety?
Leather. Most of the time, yeah, it's a variety now because I know what I'm doing. But when I started, it was really only leather. I was using Air Force Ones, but now I'm getting into like refurbishing shoes as well. So I could take any pair of shoes and change the color or add to them or do anything that I think I want to do to them.
So the next question is, what advice would you give other individuals who want to take on being an entrepreneur? Yeah, that's definitely a good question because a whole lot of people have creative ideas, but how do you get started to make it into a business? What would you advise?
The simplest way to get started is to just start. You know, that's what I would say. You have to just start and give it your all. Don't have step yourself, you know, give it full throttle so you can get the outcome that you deserve out of it, you know, because if you do something, you might not get the outcome that you could have did if you gave it full throttle. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to understand that sometimes it's going to get discouraging. Sometimes you might not understand what's going on, but you have to follow your dream. You have to stick with it. You have to continue to move forward, you know, and you have to find ways around the obstacles that you're going to run into, because it's not easy to be an entrepreneur, but it's not hard either, as long as you have passion and drive and then you believe in yourself.
Absolutely. Well, you know, like you say, it's just a matter of just starting. Just like you started your hair business, just going to get the clippers, just do it. You know, get the tools you need and go ahead and start. So that's the most powerful thing you can do, is look at what you need and then just do it. And then once it's done, you have the visual effect, you have the proof that you can do this. So it's no longer an idea, it's a reality that people can see and be inspired by. And then of course you've got a question from the Higher Learning TV shows, the Higher Learning Network TV show says, what kind of fabric did you say you use? Well, you mentioned a number of fabrics. So what are some of the fabrics that you use?
Like suede,
yeah,
flock vinyl. When I do shoes, I go to the I go to the fabric store and I just pick fabrics that feel good, that I know that would bond well with the shoe. So it's a plethora of fabrics that I use to create my brands.
Yeah,
it just depends on how I'm creating it at the time. If I'm sewing, to buy sheets of fabric. If I'm making a shirt where I'm pressing, I'm using my Cricut machine, I'm using some type of vinyl, but I try to get the more expensive vinyl so it can last longer.
Well, Morrison Yomo Yolanda says, to God be the glory. So now tell us, if people see something they like, how do they contact you? What is your contact information? Your phone number, Facebook page, Instagram, you know, what
Yes,
would you like?
My phone. They could contact me through my phone. My Facebook page is Vail Fowler. My Instagram is Vail_got_glass. And my TikTok is Vailgotglass Services. So those are the ways you could contact me.
So Vail Fowler is it's VA on Facebook.
Yes, VAIL Fowler, FOWLER.
That's Vail Fowler, and that is on Facebook. And of course, we want to make sure that people contact you. And then what was the other one you had? Instagram.
Instagram. Yes, Vail_got GOT_glass.
And then
my
okay, and the next one?
TikTok.
And then TikTok?
My TikTok is Vailgotglass Services. Or you could just call my phone.
Vailgotglass Services. Now, is that all one word on TikTok?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Vailgotglass Services. All right. On TikTok. Okay. Well, we want to make sure that we let the viewers know. And what would you like to give your phone number out for people who want to call you?
312-686-6778.
312-686. What was the last number?
6778. 6778.
All right. Well, we want to make sure that we give everybody the information they need so they can contact you. And it's right there on the screen. And got a couple of more comments, of course. And we're excited because we have given you an opportunity to reach a global audience and launch the business. So people are going to be ready to take you to that next level right away. The future is now. So, of course.
Yes, ma'am. And I appreciate the opportunity.
And then Lewis Bennett says, what are your motivations to keep you going and who are your role models? And that's probably the last question we can take before we go, because you most definitely have been an inspiration to many others. So one last question before we go. Anybody, you said your uncle, any others that have been your role models?
Well, I have a few role models in my life. My lawyer, he's Victor Henderson. You feel me? He's a big role model and a mentor in my life. And my kids, my kids and my family is my motivation. I wake up every day and just try to do my best for them. And everything is for my kids. I always think about them and how I can elevate to give them a better life. I want them to have a better life than I had. So all my creativity, I'm seeing my kids growing up and they have these same talents. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can learn so I can give it to them at an early age. So by the time they're my age, they'll be much better than me.
Well, you are definitely an inspiration to a lot of young men. Congratulations for being a young family man dedicated to his family, yes, inspiring his children, and building a legacy that they can inherit and continue to expand in the future. Thank you so much for our guest today. And your contact information is right there on the screen. On Facebook, you can go to Vail Fowler, Instagram, Vail_got_glass, and TikTok, go to Vailgotglass Services. And the phone number 312-686-6778. All righty. Well, thank you so very much. And we look forward to seeing you in the upcoming, of course, we will, I'm sure, be hearing much more from you as people order your designs. And we look forward to seeing you in this summer's We Dream in Color Humanitarian and Unity celebrations, where your mother will be one of the honorees. And we thank you all for joining us today. And of course, come on back tomorrow for Mama Africa's House. And as always, we encourage you to shine your light. See you next time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiabonga. Senegal, Jaref. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.